Hey, this is Define, and today I will be doing another book review on this book called Figure Drawing, Design and Intervention by Michael Hamilton. Let's go through the pages. Alright, so here's the book, and let's flip through the pages. This book is really good for anybody that want to learn anatomy or do character design. I personally like making characters, and I want to make them seem more believable. And I believe this book got you covered on pretty much everything you need to know. It has, first it starts with a lot of figure drawing and how the body works with the proportions and everything. Goes into a lot of, ideology of figure drawing, on how you should think when you're figure drawing, some techniques, like how it should create flow in the body instead of like closing it off with this kind of sausage shapes or whatever they are. Then it goes into like how to simplify it. You could like draw this over and over, try to memorize them, get them down. And then you should also try figure drawing at the same time to keep your visual library expanding. So it really has a lot of good reference, which is the main reason I like this book. So you can just pick it up and just draw everything and try to learn from these drawings also. And then you can try to just go to a reference site and draw actual models and try to break them down in the same way he does. So first it goes through the gesture part, which is like this first 20-30 pages, and then it goes into landmarks and more structural approach of building the body, which is really important if you want to make something seem realistic, which goes over into the anatomy and everything. So for now it's just teaching this kind of simplified forms, but they're still in perspective and they still have volume, which is very similar to the actual muscles. So then you're gonna be practicing this kind of stuff, and eventually into more, you see, same gesture drawing, but still now it has a bit more definition to everything. It really goes over everything that you need to know. I think you would just get a lot of things out of this book just by copying every page. I myself have yet to go through it, which is the whole point of this channel, which I'm trying to learn art and learn anatomy and perspective and kind of become a professional in the future. But yeah, I do recommend this book, and I haven't made another review on another book which is called How to Draw, and that one is more about perspective and designing. So it really goes into the head and all the muscles and the skull. Has a lot of beautiful drawings. And for those of you who say like this is too realistic and I don't like this style or anything like that, I believe if you're gonna do any kind of style, you need to know realism to bend it. And everybody is saying this pretty much, not just me. So you should just learn everything as they should be, and then you can just simplify them and exaggerate them, because that's all it is. You have to know how the pec muscle or where it is in the first place to make it bigger or smaller or whatever you want to do with it. It does contain some artistic nudity, so nothing out of the ordinary though. It's really cool with the breakdowns. It kind of explains everything in detail on how you can do, and it gives a few examples. I really like that about this book. It really shows the stretch of the abdomen muscles. So the first part, I think it goes into the construction most of it, and then it goes into building, putting the anatomy on top of the constructions. And it really goes into detail on how to do it. And they're all beautifully shaded and like beautifully made, so you can try to copy it and get similar results. Try to like break it down the same way he does, and then maybe play around with it on your own and change the position a bit. I always find that to be a useful exercise, to just like take something you're practicing and then making your own interpretation, or like just pulling out up another reference and applying it to that, which kind of builds it so you can do it on your own later on, which is really important. Also, like knowing this kind of anatomy will help with painting also, because you have to know the volumes of everything to make a more believable painting. So you can light it basically. And if you think about it, there isn't really much that you have to know, but they do take time, obviously. But I think within a 2 to 3 years time, depending on how much you draw, you could definitely become a professional if you do the right things. Because art is like a teachable skill, like everything else. There is no difference, but it kind of feels different for some reason. That's just how society views it, I guess. But I really don't believe in that, so. It's really beautiful here how it shows like how the muscle will contract when you, and how it's connected to the heel of the foot right here. So there's like a lot of little small things that you can understand by just looking at this book. And all the contour line explain the form even better. I really like this actually art style also of this artist. So that's the thing, but I'm not really going for a too much realistic approach, but it's good to know this kind of stuff. I'm into the more of a character design and concept art stuff myself. So here is also in the end it goes over a bit of referee on how clothing folds work, and I think that's really useful to make believable characters, because if you don't know how cloth works and how gravity works, you're not gonna have realistic figures, even if you can draw them well. You gotta be able to clothe them. I mean, it isn't really much, but I think this is really all you need to know on how to make clothes, and then you can just make your own studies from actual clothes. This is more of like just the logic of how it works. It has like a really short page on shading, not that much. So yeah, that's pretty much the book. It's a really good book, and I recommend it to any beginner, because it really does just take you from the beginning to the end and teaches you everything. Consider subscribing, leaving comments on what you liked about the video and what I can improve. I will be making a lot of series on this kind of books where I'm learning this stuff, and I'm showing you the process of how I learned it once I learned it. And I'll be showing you through like every page and how I have done the things to get to where I will become, basically. So yeah, click the subscribe button and click the notification bell and come and check it out. Yeah, thank you for watching.